Hello, good evening everyone. Ito po si Mrs. Makiling, ang baklang kinulang sa pansin. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm really glad that you're able to watch the stream. And I'm joined by a very very special guest as per my event invite. Um, she's a very special guest because I know her. I knew her from way back, and she was a very admired and brilliant mentor in my nursing days, and now she's an accomplished professional critical care nurse in California. Um, and I've invited her tonight because she's gonna share with us her journey and her life and basically just general catch up on how she is and essentially on some of her views on certain relevant issues. And of course, basig makastura po me about her love life. So, uh, without further ado, let's mag-hi naman kayo dyan kung sa mga manonood. If you can comment and share the stream, please share the stream. And yan, kaway-kaway lang kayo, mag-comment kayo, magparamdam kayo. Thank you so much for watching. Without further ado, I'm let's say good evening everyone to Miss Kate Butcon. Hello, Miss Kate. Hi.
Hello, Marco, and hello to your viewers.
Do you want to say hi to them and shout out
Yeah,
sa ilaha? Yeah.
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Hi, Marco's viewers to his what do you call this?
Stream. Akong
Stream.
page, akong page.
Okay.
Ako
Kanyang
lang siyang
page.
i-share, ako lang siyang i-share ha. Kay para ma-up lang siya sa uban ako platforms. Gusto lang ako siya i-share. Wait
Okay.
lang.
So thank you for this privilege to be part of your line of streams. What do you call it?
Yeah, live
Sorry for the
stream.
ignorance.
No, that's just fine. Um, no, I just told I just did a brief intro on you na. I told them that you're my college mentor actually, and thank you so much for giving me and for trusting me for doing this. I know it's your first time at that, and you've decided to join me today to actually and allow me and for giving me the opportunity to interview you. It's such an honor because not making not sounding so sip or patronizing. I've always been kumbaga distantly cheering you on. And
Well, the
I know.
feeling is mutual. And yeah, you're right. It's my first time to this kind of social media platform. Although I got an invitation to be part of it before, but I didn't know how to do it. And I wasn't trusting myself as well.
Mm,
And siguro part of the hesitation was I wasn't comfortable with
mm,
myself and with them.
mm.
So I think you are a better person to be where I should be for the first time,
Sala-
because
Salamat.
I'm so behind with this kind of technology. As I told you, I don't have Instagram, I don't have Twitter,
Yeah.
and this kind of platform is kind of really like putting me off because I'm not so technical about it.
Yeah. It's okay. I
Uh,
mean, there's always kanang kuan. Yeah, thank you so much for choosing me. And then I think
yes.
and for for trusting me. Let's just start with a few questions lang of
Okay.
how who you are, how are you? Let's start with how are you? How are you feeling right now? It's
Ah,
it's a pandemic. Kumusta naman among mental health? Kumusta man ka? How are you? Ano yung
well,
nararamdaman? Yeah.
I know. I just posted, like, I think last night in my Facebook page, I posted like a video. It's a 60-minute, 60-second video, just from YouTube. And it talks about PTSD among healthcare
Mm,
workers. So
mm,
it's kind of like, so raw and so visceral.
mm,
So, yeah. So it touched me in a way na ako siya na-share. Pero, yeah, it's so unfortunate that we are in this kind of situation, but much more with the healthcare workers, because we are. we are faced with a lot of challenges. And unfortunately, I would say unfortunate, but this is a chosen profession. But not all nurses would be in the same situation as me,
Yeah, yeah,
probably.
yeah.
So I
Mm.
would say that I am unfortunate to be in a COVID ICU.
Yes, yeah.
So if you work in a big medical center
Mm,
hospital, there's a lot of
mm,
ICUs.
mm,
So there can be a surgical, there can be a burn ICU,
mm,
neuro
mm,
ICU,
mm.
there's a medical ICU, there's a cardiovascular ICU. And unfortunately, when the COVID started, they assigned or designated the ICU where I am in to be
Ah,
the
right,
to be the ICU for COVID patients.
right.
So
Okay. So
wala kaming magagawa. So we just have to suck it in.
suck it up and just do your job. Basically,
Uh,
just do your best and hope,
mhm.
pray for the best. But you've been,
Yeah,
but otherwise, you've been well and safe.
it was hard, but
Mm.
yeah, I'm kind of just um what do you call it, like just go
Take
by
it,
it.
take it day by day, basically. And
Uh
how do you keep yourself resilient amidst the pressure, the stress? What? How do you keep yourself resilient?
I always find time to enjoy.
Mm.
Well, I wouldn't like to share it with Facebook in a way,
But
because
naka-coping ways,
even
of
last year, even
yeah.
last year, I would say that last year was the height of the pandemic, right? Oh,
Mm,
not the height, but there's
mm,
like up and downs in terms of the curve in the pandemic.
yeah,
But
yeah.
last year was like the whole year
Mm.
was really a critical period, and I went out with the country despite
Okay, so
everything.
so you
So
traveled.
I flew
Yeah,
to mostly Mexico because that was the only time where they would allow like tourists from the
yeah.
United States to go
Mm,
in and out. So, pero despite that, daghay mga
mm.
saan kanang yung parang hindi safe to be
Mm.
doing that.
Yeah, yeah. You took a risk, but actually that was for your own. I mean, you did that
That
because
was,
you wanted to
yeah,
escape. But that's, I mean, we cannot fault you for that. That was your choice. You took the risk, and I mean, that's how people cope, and we cope differently. So tough.
I
Anyway,
know.
Aya Perez says hello, Miss Kate. If you can read her con, she's actually
Hello,
watching from
Aya.
she's actually watching from
Yeah,
Germany. It's 9 p.m. right now.
she's my
Thank you so
beautiful
much.
cousin.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Share nyo lang yung stream. Paakyat lang, pa-up lang ako ng stream. Thank you so much for watching. Miela Lopez in Czech Republic. Hello, good evening sa'yo. I'm joined here with my beautiful guest, Miss Kate. So now going back, so
Hello.
let's go back to I like I said to my audience here. I knew you right from way back in college, and I've always admired you because I always refer to you as one of my favorite CIs actually. And then and then but I knew you then. I know that I don't know if you're comfortable with saying that that you are have you mean the can you talk about your journey as now living as I mean I know you've been living as a woman. If it Are you happy to talk about your transition
Sure.
as I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
this is a basically the series of streams I've been doing now is on trans women because as you know is like that National Day for Trans Visibility is just around the corner. I think it's in the end of the month in March. So I'm doing a lot of interactions with trans women and I'm hoping na unta maka-imparta og kanang experiences o kanang mga lessons sa atong mga younger trans sisters ba. So basig napod
Mm.
kay ika-share sa imong journey
Sure,
in your case
sure.
because I know is am I correct that you transitioned a bit later on in your life,
Yeah,
'di ba?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like Caitlyn Jenner, but
Di ba di ba siguro in your
I
60s?
I was
I
not a
believe you were
sportsman or a
yeah.
sportswoman before, but I'm like her. Transitioned so late in life.
And how did I think your transition was I think when you flew to the States you were still living as a homosexual man, right? Am I
Mm-hmm.
correct? But then
Yeah.
but then was the transsexual feelings so when did you realize that you were actually a woman but not a homosexual man? When was that onset of that?
When I
Am
was
I?
already here in the States. But before that, let me explain about
Yes.
the hesitation.
Yeah. And
Why
why it took you so long?
Yeah, not the hesitation about transitioning, but about going out in public, like in platforms like this, because it's like outing yourself,
Mm,
right?
mm,
It's like a when you have an audience, some of them you don't know, so
yeah.
I'm outing myself actually to them. So with this kind of platform, I have to bare my soul, talk
Yeah.
about myself,
Yeah.
so whoever can watch it will know
Mm.
certain details about myself, which even some of my close friends don't know, but because you're throwing in questions and I have to answer them, so
No,
that's why.
you don't have
No,
to
no,
answer
no, no.
every. Yeah.
That's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Uh-huh.
But I'd like everybody to know that my life is an open book.
Yeah.
Except that, as I told you, nobody just dared to ask.
Mm, mm, mm.
I can share everything. I can share everything that I want to share,
Yeah.
because sometimes with this kind of like transgenderism is a tipping point, but
Yeah. Yeah.
people would have a hesitation to ask questions or to deal with it or to have a discussion about it because probably they're not comfortable. They don't know what questions to ask, and and they have some biases like
Yeah. Yeah.
culturally,
Mm,
religiously.
mm,
So
mm.
those are the things that limits certain interaction and certain dialogue regarding the transgenderism. But for me, my message is just like because sometimes you get hurt
Mm,
when
mm,
some of your friends or family members would comment on certain social issues in which ang stand nila is against you, against your person.
mm,
But it
mm,
happens
mm,
to be that they're family, it happens to be that they're
mm,
friends, but they're
mm.
making a stand for the issue in general, but they're not putting you in the limelight. They're
All
not
right.
considering you
Mm.
when they're making the stand.
Ah, right.
So
Okay. Yeah.
but my message is just this, like we're social beings and we always like encounter people day in and day out. So transgenders are kind of new, but they've existed long time
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
But it's just that you would know how normal we are if you would just care to ask and
Mm,
get to
mm.
know. And if I happen to be already your friend or a family member, well, don't you think that you're privileged to have somebody that you can interact with and
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
questions that
Yeah.
you cannot, in which answers you would not be able to get from other people?
Correct. I agree with that.
Something like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
just take it as a privilege. Siguro it depends kasi ako I always look at the brighter side of life. Like something you can turn some negative things into an opportunity. So just a message. So when I came to the States,
Yeah.
I think 2 years after I started transitioning.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Uh,
And that,
it Go ahead.
sorry. And that transition involved, what did that entail?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
If you don't mind answering.
no.
Yeah.
So I transitioned like the whole shebang.
Yeah, I mean, was it a difficult journey for you? I mean, in terms of, I know I've based on what other trans women I've interacted with. It's not as always, it does, it's not as easy as it looks lang on the surface, because we know that, your body changes, your looks change, and people, some kasi people are just very very superficial na, ay nigwapa na siya, ana bitaw murag ana ilang permisulti, nigwapa na siya, babae na kayo siya, murag ana per may ilang barometer
True.
of a successful transition, and
True.
they don't really care to know what's unsa gid ang what's happening inside, the internal workings
True.
of a transition. People just, instantly say, ay ni gwapa ni babae na gito siya ana, murag ana ba ang murag general perception of transitioning, diba? So
Yeah, yeah.
uh in your case
So
was, yeah.
um sometimes when I speak amongst trans women,
Yeah.
medyo naakoy misgivings because my experience is kind of different. I always like I don't know, I'm always pushed into a path that's unconventional. So for me, I think things just unfolded, and then I didn't really like work hard for it, or my drive was not really for it. It's kind of like I'm just like a foam that absorbs whatever life gives. So so when I was in the Philippines, you know the situation there,
Yeah, yeah.
and you know, I don't know. I don't see like trans people going into the professional side of life. So I kind of just live with it. So I was a homosexual man back then, but I was so effeminate, I believe.
Mm,
So
mm.
yeah, that set me apart from the rest. And I was professional, so I was behaving myself. So when I got to the states, and it's a different culture also,
So
and
so would you say that the being in the States actually allowed you to
discover
acknowledge,
myself.
yeah, the
Discover
feelings that
myself.
you've had, that you've always had, and gave you, it gave you enough freedom to actually explore more and discover yourself,
Uh
basically?
huh. Uh huh.
Did it give you yeah, the courage to actually acknowledge that these feelings were already inside you, and mo ka ang murag precursor? Did that facilitate, did you being did that opportunity actually encourage, or let's say was a precursor in that process,
Hmm.
would you say?
Well, I would say that being in this country, wherein you could be who you want to be, so that alone is encouraging. So and then the services are available, as long as it's safe and effective. So they're available. But what I want to share is that when I underwent psychological evaluation before the whole shebang,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
so they kind of
Mm,
have, as what your previous guests explained, so they have established that what you're going into is a permanent thing because it's irreversible. It has to be like written in stone. You cannot go back in time and change your mind. So they have to establish that. So that
mm.
the yeah. But I told them that it was an honest explanation on my part, but I told them there has to be two psychological evaluators,
Yeah, yeah.
not just one.
Mm,
I told them that I didn't see myself as a woman before. I
mm,
was I was just
mm,
I was a homosexual gay because there was no opportunity for me. There was no need for
mm,
me to be a woman in the country. Now that I'm in the States, I am still effeminate. No matter how I try to be a guy, I'm always clocked like a gay person. So and then I started transitioning, and I was just surprised that the public was more accepting to me, was more embracing, and I found it more comforting that the social scenario is more embracing, right?
yeah, yeah.
And so I started doing that. I availed the services, and the whole thing just went into place.
So
Um,
in terms of the services, kasi yung iba, dito sa Europe, sa UK, for example, it's availed publicly. It's available publicly if you just, go to I don't want to call it a gender disorder clinic. It's a gender dysphoria clinic is what we call it here.
mm,
Um, are the services there privately access, or is it available publicly, or um, how are
there's
the, yeah.
yeah, you know, in the states, it's not a social system in terms
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the medical services.
Mm,
So there's a public side of it, there's a private side of
mm,
it. So if you're insured, you have an insurance, so
yeah.
your insurance network would take care of your needs. But not all insurance would have that kind of services. They would have at a certain point, but they don't go that far. And then in the public side of it, there are NGOs.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's also like a department in the public health that
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
cater to them. So
Mm,
it depends on the demography. Like for the
okay.
public system, mostly they're the impoverished. They're like the homeless, or the people who are in the
So
prostitution side. So
people without the wherewithal, basically the
yeah,
means
they
to
don't have, yes,
yeah, the
yes.
means
And yeah, but for
so
me, because my insurance didn't have that kind of service, so I had to go to the NGO.
okay. Okay.
So yeah, I
Mm.
availed from them.
But then were the so the transition actually occurred around how many years roughly did you started from, 'di ba, from right from the get 2 years on into your if you don't mind, how many years naka sa States ka na? Sorry, I forgot. I think it's around, I think you left
2006,
after 2006. Okay, 2009 man
2006.
ko nagawas. Okay,
So
2006. Hmm.
2008 ka nag-start, or
2008 na
2009,
ka nag-start. Yeah.
between
And
2008 and 2009. Yeah.
so
So
go.
let me just say that
Yeah.
transitioning is not really a walk in the park, and it's not
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I would say that other people would think that it's just too much to be doing that yourself, but it's a choice. It's a choice well, I'm comfortable doing this. I'm Other people have more intense issue than me. Like they detest their bodies, they detest themselves because they're not complete. I was not that way. I was fine. It was just out of convenience, and my psychological evaluators just like gave it an approval. I had no problem. Something like that. So they would know that your mind is set, that you can handle things, you can handle the difficulty. But it's not a walk in the park, and even the transgenders themselves, I don't think I, I don't think many of them realize
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
difficulty of
Yeah.
the process.
Yeah, yeah, because basically the access of, like, let's say female hormones in the Philippines right now is very, it's very rampant nowadays, because I think there's increase taas na mod kay ang visibility sa trans people karon, labi na sa Pilipinas. Murag
Mm,
daghan na kay the rise of, I don't know what's maybe it's because of a generational paradigm shift. It could be that, there are a lot of things why, but then, the it's like social media, um like fixtures have normalized
mm,
trans women, and it also led to increased access for the hormones ba na unya daghan na kay hormones, pero wala, dili siya regulated in a way. Mo
mm.
nang how what are your thoughts on that, Kate?
Uh, well, I think the previous guest explained it too.
Mm, mm.
So taking
Do
in
you feel the
hormone,
same?
yeah, taking
Mm,
hormones needs to be monitored, because you have to have the blood levels that are the goal for, like, if uh, ideally it should be endocrinologists who would be monitoring you,
mm,
because they're looking at your hormone levels. And the point is when you're starting, like on the hormones, no matter how much you're taking in, your body would just metabolize as much as it can. So hindi
sige
pwedeng
lang. Mm.
dadamihan mo ang pag-inom, dadamihan mo ang
Dodoblehin mo
paglagay
yung
sa
dose.
sarili mo,
Ah,
mabibilis yung pag-change ng katawan mo. It's not. It's gonna take time. Your
mm,
body's gonna just metabolize how much it can take. So that's why it's a waste, and it's not good for your health because your kidneys will be affected if you're bombarding it with too much and too much for it to take, something
So
like
so
that.
so what you're saying is just trust the process, and
Trust the
eventually,
process.
yeah, you will get there.
Yeah, and then if it's and then the prescription is that if you're just getting the hormones like from black market,
Mm,
they're taking the hormones that are in the health clinics. Those are for contraception, and they're actually like combination of estrogen and progesterone.
mm,
What are the trans women would be needing
mm,
with
mm,
just estrogen,
mm,
not progesterone.
mm.
So something like that. So it has to be evaluated and monitored.
Can we ask about because Aya here has a question. is this is this something that you'd be comfortable answering or addressing, or it's up to you? I know
Okay,
some
sure.
trans women don't like answering this question, but I'm kind of, yeah. So are you happy to tackle even
Sure.
this? Because I
Yeah, yeah.
think Aya and Kevin were pre-op trans women, and I think you're a post-op trans woman. Is that correct? Am I right
Mm-hmm,
in
mm-hmm,
that?
mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes, yes.
I
So
mean,
so my decision to go full
yes,
change,
SRS.
um because I was fine too. Like in the past years, I said I don't need that. I don't.
So
I'm still happy without
yeah, yeah,
undergoing a full change.
yeah.
And
You
then come 2018, it just occurred to me like it kind of like I just woke up and realized that, oh, why not? But you know what? It's a different realization, and it may not be true to everybody. But for my own experience, it's that well, you're a nurse too, and
yeah, yeah.
probably you would also appreciate what I'm gonna say. So nurses are, when we work, we have different clients.
Mm,
We
mm.
as much as possible, we don't render judgment to our clients, no
Yeah,
matter
of
what
course.
they
Yeah, yeah,
are,
yeah,
because
yeah,
they're
yeah. Of course.
sick
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's no,
So
yeah.
I just observed like at work. Although at work, we have it's being encouraged already that
Mm,
you have to
mm.
be sensitive
Yeah,
to the
genders.
patient.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, gender sensitive. So we
yeah.
have trans patients,
Mm, mm.
but it's kind of like still an off thing. Like
There's still the taboo
if we have a
attached to it.
trans patient,
Mm.
our straight nurses would just come and huddle in the you
Nadigya
know
po
that
yung ana.
patient in
Mm.
oh, I thought she's a woman, but when blah 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 blah. So and you were listening on the outset, it's kind of hurting. Like, oh, you're still doing this. Like, I thought you're not judgmental or something.
Mm,
So I
mm, mm,
thought about myself, like, what if something happened to me?
mm.
I got
Okay.
into a car accident,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I went to the hospital. I cannot speak for myself, and then they stripped me naked. I'm so full woman in appearance, and they strip me naked, and they see it there, and the same thing that what happened in the nurses station, they would do the same.
Right. Okay. Okay. So
And it's kind of like okay, let's just do this.
so in a way you did not, you would, because some other trans women are, it's very common to, the data has shown that, the incidence of suicide rates is very high in the trans community because of the fact that sometimes the body image is not aligned sa ilahang mental
Yeah.
state. So you never had that issue. Actually, it was more for you a social thing, how you would be
Uh-huh.
perceived.
Yeah,
Would
the
you say is
self-image, the
self-image?
self-image.
Okay, the self-image, the perception of self-image. But so,
Because
mm,
you know what, I think Kevin and I explained that too. There are trans women who are in a different business. I so happen
okay,
not to be in that business.
Right.
But ever since I hate to like talk about the genitalia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, let's not,
But
yeah. Yeah. The thing.
there are people
Yeah.
who don't really go that far
Yes, yes.
because of the business they're in. I'm not in that business. So I don't I can just go go ahead.
So basically you completed the process, and so far it's been it's been great. So are you now completely aligned and happy with everything how it turned out? And
So
oh,
after.
basically, let's go back this. Did you prepare like mentally and physically? Was there much preparation, or was it just like a normal kana kay something lang na imong you knew that you had to do and it was
Mhm.
available to you. So therefore, imo siyang grab na opportunity because it was there and you had the means to. So was it just like murag, okay, let's just do this and then
Okay.
get on with it?
And
Mm.
I did it here.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
did it here. So even from like 2 years or 2 years ago, before I decided, when I started here in this region of the country,
Yeah.
so I started with a different insurance. So from
Mm.
the start, I was seeing this endocrinologist, and she was asking me like, are you planning on
That's our
doing
ask.
that?
Yeah.
Not yet. No, I haven't thought about it. And she said that, well, just tell us if you're planning because we're going to start the process. So it's kind of encouraging because they're telling you that, just let us know because we can make the arrangement. So that's one thing that's factored in for the decision. The other
Right.
thing is, when I woke up after the surgery, I didn't feel different. I just felt that something was done to me, but I didn't feel different. I was still the same
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. So
And the thing is, I didn't hate my body before. It was just a change, and it was something that people don't see actually. So why would I
why
feel
would
different?
Matt? Okay.
I
So
was not I was not flaunting it before, and now
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
So there's no change. I think.
So in essence, actually, to be fair, based on what I perceive, I don't know if it's a fair assessment. To be fair, it's just basically coming to terms with your womanhood. In a way, it was
Yeah.
just a full circle moment for you.
Yes.
Para nako
Just a self-image.
it
But
was
the
basically
thing,
a full circle
the
moment.
mental
Mm,
the mental change that was for me, in terms of that kind of decision, is, I have the support of my family, and I'm glad
mm,
I'm glad
mm,
about it. And for friends, I don't know, like us, when I know for a fact that when you even start transitioning, you would lose people who
mm.
would not
And
want
and
you.
yeah, have you encountered that?
Of course, yeah, I do.
And
And in fact, psychologists would recommend that if you transition, you change places, you change scenario, because that would be helpful for your mental health. Because people who are part of your past or your outer ego before would always bring you back to where you once were. They don't they
mm,
don't really understand like how you become that, like you don't want to be part of that life before anymore. So that's why the dead calling is very the dead naming is very important. Like, don't dead name me because that's already gone.
yeah,
And
of
the
course.
pronoun is
Yeah,
very
yeah.
important. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I mean those
Yeah.
two things are the only
Mm.
things that are important to a trans person, because those are, her identity. Now,
Yes.
all things like memory, conversation, like your stand about anything, it's the same. Your intellect
Mm.
is the same. Those are just the two things. And why can't
Yeah.
people just give it to us? Because it's
Mm.
just a matter of like, be focused, changing the terms that you have to use. I mean,
Exactly.
some people some
Mm.
people would just say that, sanay na kasi kaming tawagin kang ganyan eh. Yan na kasi ang
Mm.
nakasanayan
No.
namin eh. I mean,
Mm.
I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
know, I know, but
Yeah.
you kind of change. If people would get married, you call them Mrs. So and so. You
Like
kind of
Mrs.
adjust
McKeeling.
to it. Yeah, why can't you just adjust to calling me her and Kate?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
uh, it's kind of like if I have to be blunt, like it's kind of selfish for you because in the first place, it's not about you; it's about me. You're calling my name, and it's my name. I own
Yeah.
it, so
And
I
you've
have the
changed
right to
it.
demand for it, right?
Yeah, okay. So you've actually
Yeah.
changed your name because of course you wanna be addressed
Uh-huh. So
correctly.
that's the
Mm.
thing because when I was transitioning, I have this insecurity that when people would kind of like bluffed on that spectrum,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a sense of like you get hurt because some people are just curious, some people are just forgetful, but other people are challenging you. They're just challenging your wit,
Mm, mm.
to say the least. But when I transitioned, I said to myself that even if people would bluff on purpose, I would not get hurt because I'm already complete, something like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
I mean that hurting part with me is gone
Mm.
with that thing that was taken off.
Yeah, yeah. So would you
Something like that.
so nalike-comment niya akong isa ka viewer diri, appreciations come in yourself and your family, just go and don't mind others just because they didn't know who or what you are, just be humble and love yourself. Tama ba ang comment ko? Kakapanood ko lang. In a way, yes, it is, yeah,
Yes,
it
you're
makes
very
sense.
right.
Salvor, thank you so much for your comment and thank you for watching this stream 4 a.m. na dyan sa Pilipinas at salamat naman at nakapanood ka pa.
So Stelbor, yeah, you're very right. But um,
Yeah. Mm,
just to add to that is
mm,
that it's hard to love yourself if you don't have that kind of support from your
yeah,
friends and family.
exactly. Mm,
So as much as possible, because some people would just go on their way, live their way, and just set them apart or distance themselves from their past totally because of this kind of insecurity. Now, it helps if you still have them in your heart, in your circle, and because in the first place you would be changing their mind
mm, mm,
about you as a
mm,
transgender,
mm.
and you would affect their insight about you. And the second place is that what would I say? I forgot the second one that I want to say.
It's okay.
Oh, okay. I think the family, the one thing that I noticed is for family to easily admire you for whatever you stand on, like being homosexual, being a transgender, is to show them that you're capable of the challenges. You can stand on
Mm,
your own.
mm.
You can defeat the negativity
Yeah,
around.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you have a purpose. You just don't depend on everybody. You just don't be a needy. You just don't be a clingy. You have to
Mm.
stand your ground. You have to be
So
productive. You have
basically, an
to
independent,
yes,
free-spirited woman who can stand on her own, and
yeah.
uh,
And everything else would just fall into place,
yeah,
like
empowered.
it's not
Mm,
hard for your friends or family
mm.
to understand you because they know that you've made it.
Yeah,
You've made it.
you've
Because
you keep
kung madrama ka sa lahat ng mga transition mo, yung mga family at saka mga friends mo dinadramahan mo every now and then ng mga kapighatian mo, ng mga
uh,
feelings
uh,
mo,
mm,
you're a failure in their eyes.
mm, mm,
So, kumbaga, how
mm,
would they
mm,
embrace you
mm.
if you're
So
like
Miss
that?
Kate, when you mentioned that you've lost friends along the way,
Yeah.
I'm sure it hurt you deeply because some of them were dear friends maybe, but because of that, didn't that occur na parang dili kasi sila real friends because why would they not support you if they were your friends, diba? Did that did that ever kanang come to your mind na murag, di mo din sila to amigo kay you've lost them. They've basically cut you off because of that sole reason, di ba? Murag they were not real friends at all. And it was that's the social relationship that you had with them was merely an illusion,
Yeah.
isn't it? Would you
Um,
say? Or
no, not really, not really, because there are even strangers who are much kinder than your friends or your family. Like you can actually encounter people who are helpful, who are more civil, and you don't know them from way before. You just knew them now. Your friends may be affected by so many factors in their lives, and it could be that it's not their issue, but it's the issue of their family that's making them decide like that, or making them distance from you. Or it could be their religion, wherein
right.
they don't want to see you in their timeline, because their kind of network is
Mm,
also looking at them.
mm,
So
mm.
it's I would say that the friendship is still there. What you went through was still valid. But when we go through life, we have different experiences. We face them, and it affects us. We become a different person. Could be better, could be worse, but we become a better person. So we cannot force them to be part of our lives.
Kundi sila
But
ganahan.
kung
Mm.
dili na apt for them, but I would
Yeah.
respect that. I would respect that. I just
Okay.
don't like to be like, if you don't
Y-
like me, you make things that would destroy me. You would make things
Right.
that
Okay.
would put
Okay.
me down,
Yeah.
just for
Yeah.
the heck of it.
Mm,
Just to
mm.
prove yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I just
basically
don't like that.
imposing.
Just leave me alone. Something like that.
Yes.
Leave me alone, and I choose my battle. Let me let me just go on with my
Actually,
battle.
that's a very a nice mantra to live by. Anyway, it's a very good it's another way of looking at things. It's very refreshing.
Yeah, because I don't want to be like, um what do you call this, like you have to explain yourself to people.
Yes. 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 Yeah.
You have to
Mm, mm,
you have to be
mm.
apologetic,
Yeah, yeah.
because
You don't have to. Basically, what you're saying, you don't have to justify your existence, or
no,
so
no.
because yeah,
Yeah, you just have to, as much as I trust them for whatever their choices in life, they have to trust me too,
mm.
as a matter of fact, well, I've gone through life probably more than them. I
So
mean,
so
I have proven my worth probably
yeah.
in the social circle more than the rest of them. I mean, I don't know.
Mm, mm.
I just don't want people to be treating other people like that, no
Yeah,
matter what.
yeah.
Mm.
So would you say now, on the lighter side of things, are you happy now in terms of, generally, are you happy? Happier where you are? Dito ko
I'm
pa dong
s-
sa love life actually.
I'm Actually, I'm kind of the same. I'm kind of the
The
same. Like,
same.
I
Okay,
was
what
happy
changed?
before. I'm still
And then
happy now.
okay,
And
okay.
um, I don't know what are the measurement for
So
happiness,
okay, okay.
but I
Mhm.
think I'm good in my
You're in a good place.
where I'm at. Like,
Mm,
I'm independent. I can pursue other things that I want to do and what to have in life. I can make decisions for myself without being intervened or interfered. I mean, I have the freedom.
yeah.
So what more?
So and how's your heart? Your heart?
Let me answer, Aya. The
Skin
pluck,
beauty.
sis. The pluck. Okay. Okay, my heart is still full. Um, I don't know how, di magugayo ko tigpangutan na bitaw nga
Mm,
how am I to other people? Like,
yeah.
unsa may
Like
dating na,
ako,
ano ba ang dating ko sa other people? Um, um, yung, am I lovable? Am I nice? Am I friendly?
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are.
Kasi
I'm pretty,
I have my maldita side. I think I mean,
I mean,
if you're
yeah.
comfortable with
Mm,
yourself and you
mm.
have pride in how you've become, you tend to be maldita when pushed to the
Bitaw, bitaw,
wall, di ba?
bitaw,
When
bitaw,
pushed to the
bitaw.
wall,
Mm, mm,
we
mm,
are meek
mm,
because we are in a
mm.
public service. We are meek, but when we're pushed to the wall,
Mm.
I can turn
You
myself
can
just
snap
like
you
that.
can snap like you can snap at them as well, 'di ba? So yeah. When
So
push comes to shove,
yeah.
you can
So in
actually
terms of the heart,
yeah, the heart
I
atong
don't know.
heart.
I have to embrace it. Kasi wala ka nang, I'm alone but not lonely.
Okay, that's a fair enough statement. Actually that's good enough for me.
Uh,
And you know you don't have to have but you still what's your okay murag actually when I was I'm actually I kept tabs on you on social media lang man, 'di ba? So
mm,
I just see kanang imong mga ginapang posts, which is great. You're living your best life. I love it. And that's what you know. I mean, it's very con. I mean, but you know I've pero di gid ka vocal about you know I mean it's I mean, to each his own, right? Like what's your take on long term relationships? Do you still believe in that, or are you actively looking for that, or are you just waiting for it
I
to happen, or mm,
I do believe in long term relationship, but I'm not
yeah.
looking for that. So something like that. So sorry. Naka-burp
So,
po galit. Naka-burp po galit. Ang body ko nagsasabing, oh, you're a liar. No.
attractive na daw ka before.
Um,
Ako impression sa una kay suplada pero bagay man sa iyang personality ug beauty mo ingon
ang
ni Pac
suplada,
Alpha.
gidi ay. Uh,
Di supladahon ang impression
um,
pero bagay man kay angayan man na may suplada na di angayan siguro.
well, on the lighter side, I travel alone.
Yeah.
For the
Yes.
information
Going the
of everybody, I live
yeah.
alone. I have no
Yeah.
partner in my
Mm,
place. Like
mm,
I live alone. Um, but I said I'm alone but not lonely. So
mm.
I have a date. I have a dating game to go by that helps me sane and
Yeah,
mentally
yeah.
healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean like that. And then I travel.
What's your ideal man?
I don't know
As per
how to
Aya
answer that.
physically.
Oh, that's a question by Aya. Ikaw talaga. Ano pa kasi ako parang
Parang napan parang
dalaginding pa at
parang
heart.
napansin ko kasi parang ano, ang dami mong kasamang gwapo talaga. Parang ang daming nakaka
Okay. We're going into that. So I travel
yeah,
alone, right?
yeah.
The,
Mm.
the the reason of traveling alone is that when I get a chance to have free time or a free weekend, it's so hard to find somebody. Like, can you go with me? Travel to this and
Hmm,
that at
bitaw,
an
bitaw.
instant's
Mhm,
notice.
hmm. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
ang tendency ko, ito lang ang off ko eh, so I have to go.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
opt to go venture on your own na lang kay kapoy man kay
Oo.
agad pa
Oo.
ka sa ibang tao, 'di ba? Or
Oo.
mag-ano ka pa ng
Tapos,
mag-itay ka pa ng iba. So,
maghintay ka ng
mm,
iba,
mm.
kung mag-a-advertise ka naman kung sino sasama, ang mag-oo naman yung parang hindi mo naman feel na kasama, ang daming eklat sa buhay.
Okay.
Oo. Kaya mabuti na yung
Mm,
actually it's very convenient to travel alone.
mm.
You can just decide what you want to
Yeah,
do.
yeah. Mm.
Every hour, like I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that.
Mm,
So you can
mm.
change your plans.
Basically, you are the owner of your own time. Wala di ka ma-pressure kayo. Naghuwat
Correct,
si
correct.
kani, mag-ilis na ta kay mga dulta didto ana, murag ana ang imong
And
kuan.
everywhere I go,
Mhm.
medyo naman gihapoy, may pumapansin naman. Tapos yung friend mo naman, sabi mo suplada, pero pag kinausap mo naman ako, I smile naman. And my smile naman, they say is
Mm.
magical.
So mo na sa ang the advantage of travel kaya naman mo like air of mystery put around you, and obviously it's a fresh place and you have fresh eyes on the place, especially if you di ba if you go somewhere na ikaw murag pero murag sa ko di ko ka mahadlo ko ako isa kay murag I'm very bad with directions mangod so pero I admire you for that. It's really nice kay murag it gives you a fresh eyes on everything is so new and kanang murag and di ba murag it's an adventure and
Mm.
anything could happen, a lottery or
I
kumbaga
was
sa
asking myself to that before that
mm,
question before, like why was it easy for me to travel alone? Where in fact, well, I've been to like places where it's kind of rough in
mm,
terms of
mm.
like reputation, like Colombia,
Yeah. I've seen your
Cuba,
I actually
something like
I, yeah I actually yeah I saw your pictures in Cuba and Colombia and Brazil. Even Brazil has a murag
that.
medyo may
Yes.
murag kuan di ba
Nawala gid ako
hesitation.
cellphone dito.
Sa Brazil.
Nagkawat sa Brazil, oh.
All right,
Uh-huh.
okay. But
Kaya nahubog ko. Anyway.
na follow up question si Aya, memorable encounter of events whilst traveling alone.
Sus! Intrigira, gini si Aya. But let me share this.
Yes.
Traveling alone is, well, it's very educational, and
Mm-hmm.
it gives you more confidence
Mm,
about
mm.
yourself. If
Kaya
you're
you're
doing it,
actually
if you're doing it right,
mm,
you're doing it
mm,
right. Hindi
mm,
naman hindi naman ako gano'n na basta na lang pupunta na
mm,
walang
mm,
alam. So I have to
mm.
research. I have to do
Yeah.
research.
Yeah.
Um,
So that would be your travel tip sa mga solo
yeah.
kanang gusto mag-solo travel kanang who wants to go, let's say, backpacking around South America,
Uh,
would you say? Mo na imong travel
yes.
tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are things that you should not do? What are things that you should
Mm,
avoid? So you have to make a plan. Like
mm,
you have to be informed.
mm.
Tapos I think being a transgender.
Yeah, and another point kana ako ang
Oo.
next
Being a
question, but
transgender
you're
kasi
going there
yung
actually.
idea kasi ng iba 'pag ewan ko lang ha kung, um, siguro nakukuha ko lang 'to sa vibes ng mga transgender sa Pilipinas na
Mm,
masyado silang maganda.
mm,
Pang
mm,
beauty
mm,
contest talaga. Parang
mm.
gano'n, parang 'yun
Ah,
ang goal. But
so
actually to blend in is the better way. Like
yeah, yeah,
to be
yeah,
stealth, to
yeah.
just blend in. You don't need to be
Stand
singled
out.
out.
You don't have
You don't
yeah.
have to stand out kasi that's where violence can happen.
Mm. Kung
That's
gwapo ka kaayo, you attract attention to yourself, 'di ba?
yes,
I mean, I'm not
yes.
saying that you're not, but actually kung sa right kung kumbaga kabalo ka when to actually kumbaga sa peacock pa display your feathers, 'di ba? In the at
Uh-huh.
the right time, 'di ba?
Right,
And
right.
there's places na dapat pud na mo blend in ka into the crowd para stealthily you can maneuver yourself.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
yes. Uh-huh,
It's a
uh-huh.
very good travel tip actually.
Yeah, kay kung dili ka mo blend, ma-single out ka, makita nila ang details nimo. Like
They can clock
dili ka
you.
nila ma-clock. Oh. So
Mabuka kayo.
you don't
Yeah.
have to be like bombshell beautiful or super
Ah,
gorgeous. You
mm.
just have to be like a regular girl in a party who is nice.
Ana ang drama.
Nice in the eyes and nice to deal with.
Ganahan ko kay ana drama.
Ganun lang naman talaga. Very simple. Yung iba kasi pinapahirapan nila sarili nila. Na dapat bootylicious,
Masyadong
masyadong,
effort kasi. Dapat
oh,
effortless. Dapat kung anong ano, that's I think that's the true measure of beauty. Kanang kung kanang you're comfortable in your own skin, paggawas nimo kana lang and then go
oh.
ana dayon. Um,
Kaya I stopped watching mga beauty pageants eh.
Very clever
But,
daw si Miss K. Very clever
ah,
daw si Miss K, sabi ni Pac Alpha. And hello Edward Telegido,
Earl
thanks for
ha?
watching.
Hello, Earl. Hello,
si,
Edward.
si Edward's watching from KSA, is my regular thank you Edward for watching. Thank you for sa time mo sa pag-download ng stream na to. Paki-share lang sa mga pages ano mo diyan, baka may mga para ma-up lang tayo.
Oo.
Si Aya Perez, I have my own personal experience as trans in airports in Hong Kong and Dubai. Do you have any as well, says? Advice how to deal with this situation. Kaya kanina si Aya Manggod, she got clocked. Unfortunately. So,
Well,
I think she was, um, mm,
before my surgery, syempre, ma-stop ka.
mm,
Well, if you go through the scanner, medyo may makikita sila, something like that. And so the security on the other end would stop you, and they would say that she has to, pat you
mm,
up, up
cavity
down.
check.
Yes, yes,
Mm,
but you know already what she's looking for, right? And I would just say that I'm trans. I'm a trans
okay.
woman. Yeah,
Mm,
and then she would just say that, okay, thank you. She would not even go further, like
yeah.
patting me. So
Mm,
I would not like, I would not shy away from explaining myself that I'm trans,
mm,
something like that. Tapos, pag dumaan na ako dun sa immigration, nung hindi pa na-change yung passport ko, makikita nila na, so like when I went to Cayman Island, pag open la, ay, iba yung hitsura ko, iba naman ang
mm,
nandun. So,
mm,
ganun siya, ganun.
mm, mm.
I just gave him a smile, like, that's me.
So
That's
very
still
very
me.
imong approach is very nonchalant, very passive,
Oh,
very chill
yeah.
about it, and you don't have to make a fuss. Basically, just say it for what it is. A matter of
Yeah.
fact. Na ingani, and then it works for you, basically.
I think I think I think it's what do you call it, universal. Like
Mm,
if you kind of radiate a sense of ano ba, yung lightheartedness, or
mm,
yung
mm,
just easy going, yung hindi ka
mm,
masakit sa ulo or
mm,
nakasama or something to deal
mm.
with. I think it will fall into
Just
the
follow.
right
Yeah,
lap.
it will just
Oh.
follow. So, wala niyo
Mm.
mag-answer akong question. Wala niyo mag-answer ang question ganyan. Memorable encounters or events
Okay,
while
yun na
traveling.
nga. Yun na nga. Tapos, yun lang naman eh, yung sa passport, tapos yung
Mm,
sa pag
mm,
ipat ka sa ng mga
mm,
security. And then
mm,
after that is another thing. After the surgery, because you have to have, there's an object that you have to bring to keep you patent.
mm,
Mm. And that would show up in your
mm,
luggage, right?
mm, mm,
But and I bring it along. I put it in my carry on, and then they would
mm.
say that, "What is that? Is it a weapon?" Something.
Mas dako na pud kayo.
But it's pointed. It's pointed. That's why ano sila.
Okay, okay,
And then
okay.
they would like dig in my bag, and then they
Yeah.
would take it out and then open it up, something like that in
Okay.
everyone's view. And then
Okay.
they would even
Mm,
like try to
mm.
bang it
Mo
in on the
ba?
surface. And I
That's
said,
so
no, no,
shocking
no,
na
no, no,
buwan.
no. That's a medical device.
Correct. It's a medical device. Sa ba?
So ganun. So mas marami kang i-explain.
Okay.
Oh,
That's really,
pero
but
okay
that's
lang.
that yeah, but that's
That's part of
part.
the
Yeah,
challenge.
part of the challenge, part and parcel of the process, I
Um,
suppose. And I mean, you take it in stride, 'di ba? And
yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
mahirap maging ano, mahirap yung parang maiinis ka palagi,
Mm,
masisira lang ang araw mo,
mm,
nagta-travel
mm,
ka, gusto mo
mm,
mag-enjoy, tapos
mm,
yung mga ganung bagay,
mm,
kaiinisan mo, ay wag
mm,
na.
mm.
Hmm.
And how about the kuan, the attention you get from the men?
Ay, ayan na.
do you
Kasi
do you
naman,
kanang sa imong mga travel ba na kay mga encounters pod na
kahit
kanang
naman hindi
almost love, kanang more intimate
almost
intimate,
love.
mga near unsa tawag kana?
Mahirap kasi sa travel eh, kasi it's
Mm.
always
Is it
temporary. So
always
if
transient? Transient bagyapon
a
imuhang the
transient,
way the way you encounter,
yeah.
for example, you meet someone in your one of the travels, sa imong kanang mga country, because I think you've been sa South America, 'di ba? You've been
Mhm.
here sa Europe. And do you always kanang when you meet people, and obviously you're a very beautiful woman, I must say.
Oh, thank
'Di
you.
ba? Oh.
Mhm.
Ah, syempre ma digid ma help ang kuan ang mga laki na ma-attract, gravitate towards you. Pero imuhang attitude is very like, you know that you're just there for that moment. Do you always that nang nakay murag ka ng um, mental template na temporary ako dire, so dapat ako interaction niya temporary pod, so in a way you're restraining yourself, nakay murag self restrain na murag kutob ra din niya akong ihatag because
Yeah.
I know na ingana imuhang kuan
Mhm,
dili ka
mhm.
walay
In fact,
chance na kanang I will leave walay chance yun na kanang kanang oh my god, this person is kind of like different, so there might be a life changing moment that I might just live here, leave everything and abandon and just just take the plunge and murag eat pray love moment na kanang murag
wala
murag ana
gyud. I think that's one thing that's lacking from me. Kay
yeah.
wala pa ko nga goal nga kanang mo settle or find somebody. That's why I'm
Mm,
saying wala ko
mm,
nga goal nga maka-find og man nga
mm,
I can be be
mm,
permanently with. So kanang mag-travel ko of course you hang out, you go to fun places,
mm,
and then and one thing is, pag gusto ko siya, of course, ibang bibigay kong attention. Pag hindi ko naman gusto yung lumalapit, iba rin ang bibigay kong attention. Parang I would be dismissive. So, hindi
mm,
siya magpupursue. Pero yung
mm.
gusto ko, I would give like 100% of my attention. So, that's promising. So, at to end the story, so medyo angkop, di ba?
Yeah.
but sino bang magugustuhan mo? Of course, you look at the looks
Yeah,
first,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Physical
and
attraction
then
is always a given, 'di ba?
yes, yes.
Kung ginatong first, we gravitate towards the physical first,
And
obviously.
the
Mm.
disadvantage is if they're good looking, they're probably there for fun too. Like they
Bitaw,
just wanna be
bitaw,
flaunting
bitaw,
themselves and get
bitaw.
whatever they want
Mm,
because they
mm,
know they're also a good market in the
mm,
surrounding.
mm, mm.
So you just happen to be another species in the same wavelength.
I like the way you approach things. I think I wanna become like
Di ba? So
sorry, diba?
ayoko siyang seryosohin because
I like
kumbaga,
that.
well,
Uh,
if you're playing, I'm also playing too. We'll go play in the playground. Ganun lang.
correct. But I really like the one that you shared your encounter. I really read that through and through, the one in the guy in Colombia that you've met. He was really actually very good looking,
Oo
nakatang
nga,
English.
di ba?
And I
Di
read
ba
the
na,
story. That was very bittersweet actually. The story itself, I know it was anecdotal in a way, di ba? Imo mong gitong gisuwat. From your heart, I knew you wrote it from your heart. It really felt, it was
o
very
kasi
very heartfelt prose.
pwede
It
ko
was
pa siyang
very
i-change ang aking flight kasi I
mm,
was still in Colombia but just
yeah,
in
yeah,
another city, and then he was
yeah.
expecting me to be with him during the
Mm,
breakfast. I can still change my flight,
yeah.
but I said no.
But that was very actually that was very kanang nindot ang the pros in that what do you call that journal, or that I think it was a short story in a way, because it was a short story indeed, but it's not it was a not fiction, di man siya fiction. It was a it was a
Uh,
stalker daw ko nimo Miss K. Stalker ka ni Miss K. Grabe siya ka stalker. No, because actually mura manggug ma-fascinate manggug ko. I mean, I really like manggod, like especially when I in the first place, I really like the way you wrote it. That was why
uh,
I was reading. And Earl, of course, stalker ko, because like I said
si
right
Earl.
from the start. Right from the start, I admired you from afar, and I've always cheered you on secretly. I know, I am, because obviously kisa ra may mag-support tayo, di ba, kita ramong yapon sa
Oh,
LGBTQIA, and we
yeah.
cheer each other's victories. The problem kasi with us sometimes is we are too we are harping about trumpeting unification, and 'di ba dapat magkaisa, or the more collective voices will be heard as one, but sometimes ourselves in the community are divisive ourselves. So that's why I'm really supportive of like, small victories, any victory for that matter, especially if they happen to someone that I admire and I look up to. So di ko stalker, light lang. Stalker ko light.
But
Yeah.
sometimes when you do it alone, you can have triumphs
Mm,
in whatever you do. Because I don't know, probably there are people who would bring you down. Like
mm, mm,
our lifestyle is so challenging. Like people would just look at us like happy going, happy
mm,
go
mm,
lucky.
mm,
So
mm.
So
Mm.
something like that. But we have our own issues when we are left alone. We think
Bitaw,
of
bitaw.
we think of
Mm.
a lot of things. We're
Mm.
just
Mm.
normal people,
Mm.
but we
Yeah.
tend to be more fun. Kaya nga, sometimes there are stereotypes na if you are this and that, ano na, parang you're the
Life of the party
life of the
automatically, Ana.
party. Oh,
Ana, oh. Mm.
noon, pag may na-meet akong mga bago pa lang na mga tao, sasabihin na, marunong ka bang magupit? Marunong ka bang, make-upan mo naman ako? Parang ganun. Magsayaw ka naman, mag-crack ka naman ng jokes. Sabi ko, those are not my thing. Kumbaga, I can laugh at any joke, but I don't know how to
Yeah.
crack a joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that. So there are
Yeah.
expectations
Mm.
na pag
Yeah.
ganun ka, you go
That's
laugh. But we
society's.
do
Yeah.
cry,
Mm.
diba? We do
Mm.
cry. We're
I
not
know.
always
Yeah. Yeah.
like laughing on the outside. So,
Question
no.
sa Paris today. I don't know if you're happy to answer this.
Wala ko'y preferences. Nala ko'y
Really?
ta- nala ko'y top 5,
What's
but
ang
they
top 5
fall
nimo?
because
Naman kay top 5 ba ya? Gisulti ba ni sa ako earlier sa ato
nala ko'y
ang
top 5
pre
because
live session. Oh.
Alam ko top 5 because usahay ang ako
It's
mga
rational.
sometimes ang mga na-encounter ko, they
Mm.
they would fall into the 5 categories
Mhm.
of guys from these countries. So
Mm.
hindi ko sinasadya na hindi ko naman tinitingnan yung mukha na ito ano siya, Pilipino ito ang gusto ko. Hindi
Yeah,
naman
yeah,
kasi
yeah,
pwede
yeah.
naman siya maging Indonesian, pwede naman siya maging
Yeah.
Thai.
Yeah, yeah.
So you wouldn't know. Pero
Yeah.
sa mga encounter ko, parang may commonality. Okay, so the
Yes,
top
the
5 would
common
be
denominator.
Brazilian,
Yes, Brazilian.
Italian,
Uh-huh.
Iranian,
Uh-huh.
Turkish,
Hala.
American from Boston, a specific
Sa Bostonian gid siya. American Bostonian.
Bostonian, diligay from New Orleans or
So mo na imong top 5. Top 5 na ba to? Oh.
naanap ay Puerto Rico gani,
Puerto
sulod.
Rican. Okay naman siya recurring. Murag na dominant ang kuan, ang South American countries.
Medyo, kay dali po na ko siya. Ang sa Europe, saan sa Europe? Wala ka,
Wala kay ka sa Europe.
ang mga puti there is already like a representation of Europe,
Mm.
right?
Mm. Yeah. Because they're basically immigrants.
Yeah, so
Mm.
every time na ako'y makadate na puti,
Ano
we would talk
heritage.
about the ethnicity, like kung sa man
Pero
nilang
ikaw,
mix.
I think ang perception sa imo murag Latina man, 'di ba?
Yes, murag
Mm.
Latina.
Mm. Colombiana or Venezuelan? Unsa ang
Dili
common
sila
kuan?
ka pinpoint, but because I'm tall.
Mm.
Usually when I go to bars and clubs
Mm.
before, they would think nga Latina ko because I'm tall.
Kaya 'di ba?
Labi na ka ng mga, of course I go to bars ng mga for straight
Yes, of course.
people. Although sometimes kung ako yung mga kauban ng mga gays, I would go to the bars in the gay district because it's fun too. Kaya ako pero pag ako lang mag-isa, punta ako dun sa mga straight clubs. And then pagpunta mo dun, yung mga Pinay or mga Asian taga dito ko, they're very young. Everybody would think yung mga bata pa to, di ba? So ayaw nilang kausapin kasi parang mga bata, mga maliliit.
Okay.
Parang gano'n. Parang naiilang yung mga ibang lahi kasi matatangka sila tapos kakausapin nila yung mga bata. They're very
So in a way, it works to your advantage.
Tapos pag pumapasok naman doon, kasi parang nakapasok lang na, pag ganun. Di, syempre parang bata talaga na di ba? Yung parang nasasalang lang. So, so here comes the Latina, kuno, na matangkad, na, sino kakausapin nila? Di, syempre ako, kasi presenting myself.
Correct. So it works out to your advantage because it actually takes out the competition. Plus the karang says beauty queen height. Yes, of course, kay mag-heels pa ba ka, di ba?
Mag-heels pa yun. Correct, mag-heels. It helps to my advantage po. Kaya at the end of the night, medyo nakainom ka na, tapos mahirap nang maglakad. So you have to have somebody to escort you.
Di ba?
Or they would offer like I can walk you to your car.
Mm, mm.
Go, okay. Pwede pagdating sa car, I can go to your
Mm.
house. I can sleep there tonight. Okay.
Go. Sa naka-typical na go-to look every time you go out. Naka-typical na ka
My
ng
look?
yeah, imong typical na imong go-to
Wala. I just
kumbaga, or do you just
I just
play
dress
it by ear?
appropriately. Huh?
Okay. You just play it by ear. I like
Oo. Yung pang ano lang, pang club, hindi naman yung
mm,
parang
mm,
parang risque talaga na
mm,
na mga
mm.
kasi alam mo yung parang kung the more sabi ko nga sa iyo if the
The
more
more
na
you attract
ma-single
attention
out
to
ka
yourself, yeah,
o
the more
mm,
they'll be able to clock you.
yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I like that approach. Sabi po ni Aya. Yeah, me too, Aya. I agree with her totally on that one. Katong
Pero
especially
iba naman yung love life kasi siguro
yeah.
I've
Mm,
been asking
mm,
myself bakit hindi pa ako nakakakita ng mga
mm.
guys na talagang
Baka
ano
baka na kaya sa
kasi
Filipino ka lang you'll end up with a Filipino.
ha.
Baka sa haba ng posisyon, Filipino din pala
Oo,
yung
yeah,
tatapos.
I'm not closing my doors. Like hindi naman ako racist,
Mm,
although
yeah.
racism is innate in everybody.
Yeah.
it's just it's just the way how sublime we put it
Yeah.
out
Correct.
there, 'di ba?
Mm,
Mas
mm.
racist pa nga tayo eh. Siguro
I
ang mga
agree with that
Pinoy.
sometimes,
Oh,
yeah.
oh. Ano lang, siguro because I'm in the wrong places for
Mm,
where to find love.
mm.
Tapos yung mga age bracket, hindi na pang love ano yun, para magiging ano ako,
Pang
matrona. Mm.
Pero never say never because like, never say never kay 'di ba, love
May
transcends
nabasted
age.
na ba si Miss K?
Oh, muna ang question ni Pak. May nabastard na ba si
Oo
Miss K?
naman, kasi
Hmm,
before I transition, syempre may mga lalaki na kakausapin mo. I don't actually I tell them before the intimate thing. But before going out, like before I bring or whatever, basta papunta na doon, I tell them that I'm this and that.
okay.
Pero
You
not
actually
right
tell them.
away, not
Ah,
right
okay.
away.
Okay.
Not right
Okay.
away.
Hmm,
Pero bago pa pumunta doon pa lang sa venue, kakausapin ko na I would throw in questions na parang you would get the vibe of how open-minded they are or how
hmm,
would
hmm,
they react
hmm,
to
hmm,
certain
hmm,
certain new things or certain situation.
hmm.
Pag medyo hindi ka pwedeng magsabi na kanya, he's not ready for this. Hindi na
Ah,
ako tutuloy.
okay. Yeah,
So,
that's a very practical, pragmatic
yeah,
approach.
kahit gwapo pa siya masyado, sasabihin
Mm,
ko na lang na, I have this and that, may gagawin pa ako, blah, blah, blah. So,
mm,
I just
mm,
walk around,
mm.
iiwasan ko siya, then find somebody else.
Da, da. Next. Thank you, next.
Di ba? Mabugbog pa ako na just,
Open-ended na question technique ni Pak. Yes, tunood na. Yes. Anyway, I think it's a very fun discussion. It was I also thank you for sharing your time with me
thank
tonight. I'm nalingaw ko.
you.
Naligaw ba ka sa imuhang
Yeah,
katong
nalingaw
storyan?
ko. Oo, nawala na nga akong mga
Last
control methods.
last message lang
Kay
nimo sa
lingon naman gud ko sa
mm,
akong self nga, well, it's your first time ha. Ayaw iwagay-gway ang imong mga kamot permi. Ayaw tabuni ang screen sa imong kamot. Look into
mm,
the camera. Ana,
mm, mm.
wa na ako nag
Okay naman. I mean, because it's actually the ang akong objective is to elicit really organic reaction kanang raw reaction that sa imoha
Okay.
because it's
Thank
realistic. Kay mao man
you.
gid ang tumong nako. And imo lang advice sa kanang kung magpakaserious tagbalik because
Mm.
I know in a way in the grand scheme of things you're already at a point in your life that you have like I said, a full circle moment, 'di ba? Murag na kuha na nimo sa imong journey as a trans woman. If I was if I like it when you open up nalay comment si Aya din he. Wait, di na ko makuan. I like it when you open up, says you glow more. Yes, I agree. She was very
Ganon.
comfortable. I think
Oh
it's
my
because
God. Okay.
I think
I thought dapat ko mag-control. Okay, that's a good thing.
yeah. No, but actually, I don't think. I'm very thankful that you were actually very open and very, receptive to the questions that I've threw at you, and hopefully it wasn't so intrusive. But yeah, like sa imong okay, like going back to what my point, katong if people were listening right now, like let's say a random younger person were to encounter this stream, 'di ba, like kanaman sa Facebook, it's a very public platform, maklik niya
Mm-hmm.
niya atong kuan kisa man ni siya na ma-curious lang siya tan-awon niya atong interview karon, and then makita
Okay.
ka niya, 'di ba, so she'd probably say, oh my god, may pa siya, she's had a full shebang, she's had a full kuan. What would you say to her as a young person, um who's actually maybe just starting out in her journey, in her life. So seryoso na ni siya, ha. Muna siya pang
Seryoso na.
final
Yes.
question. Kung sa Miss Universe pa, pang final question na siya. What would you say to her?
Okay. So,
Para ikaw, kasi sa ako na perceive, ha, it was very, you're very like pragmatic. You're very practical about it. There's no drama. There's no, you have to basically, but I think it comes from a place of you're comfortable in your own skin. You don't have, you don't have the common issues that are actually plaguing the other people. But in a way, that because that's your individualized experience, 'di ba? Anak man gid na,
mm-hmm,
so lahi-lahi man the
mm-hmm,
experience. Pero kung
mm-hmm.
nalang kay ikatambag sa mga kanang like around, like I said, like a random younger person who's actually also murag gusto pud siya maka kuan sa ang reality na murag maybe it will get better, you know what I mean, sa iyahang
Yeah.
self, will it get better, and maybe when she finds this clip and say, oh, it will get better, 'di ba? It should get better because like her, she is a living testament to that. What would you say to her?
So I would say, because I'm much older and they're much younger probably, but I would say, from a place of a person who've gone out of the culture in the Philippines and have seen different cultures, have interacted with different people. So I would say that there's much to the world that than what you see around. But if you choose to be just around, you can make a difference too. But the important thing is for you to be able to pursue anything that will be beneficial for you. If it's not about luck, you have to get an education. Uh yeah, I grew up like, I had challenges growing up. It was not a bed of roses. My family is just in the working class, and I'm even left alone during high school because my parent had to, have to work somewhere. But
Mm,
I just did what I had to do, what was expected of me, and you have to deliver what is expected of you when you're given that opportunity. So if you have an education and you can pursue whatever you want, you can go places and then choose the path that's right for you. And I think also that another thing is, sometimes you can choose your friends. You can choose the people who you want to hang out with. You can choose people who can be would give you a positive influence. I mean, it's always a choice. It's not always the fun thing.
mm,
Because
mm.
fun can be with people who are boring at times. It's not. It's not always fun with people who
Mm,
always laugh. But
yeah, exactly.
yeah, because the people who always laugh can be so dramatic too. They would give
Mm,
you a
mm,
different kind of headache. So yeah, so it's just about, it's sometimes you have to think for yourself, like what is better for you, in the choices that you make in life. And then when you're for it, you have your heart for it, work for work towards your goal, and don't be disappointed right away. You have to work and work.
yeah, very well said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just don't get it, like like free-handedly. You have to work
Yeah, yeah,
hard for
yeah,
something.
yeah. I
Yeah.
agree with you totally.
It's just like
Mm.
taking an exam. Like,
You have to prepare.
well, yeah, you have to prepare. Even if you're smart, but
Yeah.
sometimes the technique, you need to learn the skill, the technique in
Mm.
reading the questions.
Yeah.
Even if you're
Yeah.
smart, you can still fail.
Exactly.
So you
Kinood gid
have
na.
to prepare.
Uh,
Mm.
so do you still have, what are your hopes and dreams pa? Napakay hopes and dreams and aspirations for the future. Unsa pa may imong kuan kaha?
Ano
Sa
na
imong self.
lang, siguro
Oh.
to
Miss Universe question.
to be to be ready for my another 10 years
Mm.
of being an old person.
Di pa siguro, oy.
Oh, well, I'd like to embrace it now, like another 10 years of being an old
Well,
person.
if it's any consolation, it doesn't show at all. You're
But I
still
feel it. I feel it. Like nagsakit sa kalawasan, ang mga gray hair, manggawas na,
uh,
kapoy na magsigid ko root retouch every 3 weeks.
so
Yeah.
lang basically grow old age gracefully. Is that what you're mo na imong hopes and aspirations pa?
Bahalag dili gracefully, basta
Basta maayong
basta comfortable,
basta comfortable.
healthy,
Yeah. Okay.
komportable,
Yeah.
tapos now I like you have to be part of the solution and not the problem.
Correct. Yeah.
Something
And
like that. And you can influence other people to be
mm,
part of the
mm,
solution and not the problem. If you can't be that influencer, then just not be one
part.
of the problem.
I like that. I like that. It's very like I said, that's very practical as well. That's very
Because sometimes
mm,
you can just sulk in our corner and
correct.
just be participating by being
Mm,
silent. Other
mm,
people have the capability of being an influencer. They're good at speaking. They have a lot of friends and
mm.
they are charismatic. So that's their game. And yeah, so ganun lang. Kanya-kanyang
Do you
beauty parlor.
last, last question? Do you still can you still see yourself? Can you still imagine a life in the Philippines?
Yes,
In
I
the
do.
the sunset of your life, for example. Let's
I
if we
do.
go if we look forward. Okay, kami ni Earl, personally, I think we're planning to retire in the Philippines eventually. And do you feel the same way as well? Would
I
you?
do, yeah.
Uh,
Pero I have some considerations to make. Like
mm,
how would it be for a transgender
mm,
to be in the
mm,
Philippines? Because if they're gonna connect my being if they're gonna connect my being what do you call this? The balikbayan.
sorry, yeah,
Being a
but
balikbayan
yeah,
to somebody who is not anymore holding a Philippine passport, because I
mm,
don't want to hold a Philippine passport with my old name and my old
yeah, exactly.
gender on it. So I
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
keep where I am now.
mm,
So how is the situation gonna be there? Would it give
mm,
me more problem or not?
mm.
So kung mas maraming problema, I'd rather stay here
Mm.
or where I am
Tinood,
more, yeah. Pero
tinood.
kung pwede ka naman bumibisita, bisita lang doon,
Mm,
gano'n.
mm,
Pero kung if
mm.
it's gonna be like baka mag-change naman, things would change for the better in the future. So, why not, di ba?
And your take on the just one more follow up question gud ni kani ako to ato discussion yesterday was about the Soji bill kay mao man ni atong
Ah,
murag
okay.
kumbaga that is the essence murag mao na siya ang murag kumbaga kung if that bill would have passed and made to law that would have afforded us like for example kami na early would have given us a right to enter the civil partnership or maybe not
Uh-huh.
be discriminated on the basis of our sexual orientation or identity
Right.
gender identity and expression. What's your view as I know sometimes it's hard for us. It's easier for us to comment because we are not actually it's not our lived experience if you know what I mean, 'di ba?
Mm-mm.
Dili naman na ato ang atong kumbaga hindi na ating kinamulatan but hindi natin maiwasan pa rin na meron tayong opinion about that and we still have we feel strongly about it and what's your take on that on that Soji bill and our rights particularly in the motherland.
Okay, so that's in the Philippines, right?
Yes, yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Um,
So it's a hard battle to fight. Kasi you know the culture in the Philippines. It's so ang daming players like the religious sector,
mm,
and then the government who are also like have a backup from
mm,
whatever.
mm,
Like they're
mm,
so concerned about their image in terms of their voters, kung sino magbaback up sa kanila, sino magiging sponsor. So it's a hard fight for that bill. But I think for the LGBT to start standing up, like I know there are already like
mm,
NGOs na
yeah, yeah,
specifically for LGBT, even for
mm,
trans.
yeah, yeah.
Pero wala pa masyadong yung representation wherein people in the community would be more visible, like in other profession.
Mm,
It's
mm,
not always in the. It's not. It should not be always in the showbiz
yeah,
industry or in
yeah.
the entertainment industry.
Mm,
People who are like doctors, nurses, or teachers, they should come out and lobby. They should come
mm,
out and speak for it, to give meaning na now we are productive members of society. We are contributing to
mm,
the economy, and we are contributing to the goodness of society, regardless of hindi pa na-advance yung ano ba, siguro mga standards of morality,
mm, mm.
chuchu,
Yes, yes, yes,
based on
yes.
the
I,
dogmas
correct,
that we
correct,
are
correct.
grown
Yeah,
with.
yes,
So,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
parang kasi ang nakikita ng
Mm,
tao na ano lang tayo eh, parang they can just dismiss us easily.
mm,
And then that's why some professionals would just hide in the
mm,
background
correct.
because they
Mm.
don't want to be, lalo na ngayon may mga bashers na mga
Yes, exactly.
drama, di
Yeah,
ba?
yeah, yeah.
Other
Mm,
people would like to be involved kahit hindi
yeah,
naman sila, wala naman
correct.
silang masabi. Gusto lang
Mm,
may
mm,
masabi para
mm,
maging clickbait.
mm.
Oh,
Just for the attention, marag
oo,
ana.
so ganun.
It's very easy to bash. Like we have kasi now the toxic culture. I mean not toxic culture, but social media and stuff has actually is a platform. It's easy to judge someone kay pwede man ka mag-create og kanang persona na dili siya traceable sa imong real identity. So manang pwede ka unfiltered dayon mo bash sa ka person, which is really
Yeah,
kanang sad
and
sad. Mm,
it becomes easy for ordinary people
mm,
to affect the lives of those who are untouchables.
exactly.
That's where the power of bashing come from, because
Mm,
they feel that they have a say. They feel that it can empower them. Kahit na mga wala silang, kung sabihin mo, well, hindi ako I won't go stoop down to your level, pero
yeah, yeah.
nakaka-affect sila sa mga untouchables.
Yeah, because they
And
can see it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So ganun ang
Mm,
social media. So
mm.
ganun. So soggy bill, I know. Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard.
Pero
Do you think it can be it do you still hope that it's it is a hard battle to fight. It is an uphill battle, I would say,
oo,
diba?
oo.
It's a very tortuous journey. But do you still believe that we will get there one day?
Yeah, when the right people would come up to the
Mm,
platform or
okay.
to the stage, because right now di magud sila maka-influence sa mga
Mm,
tao, and
mhm,
wala lang kanang they're the kind who would just leave the battleground when there's nothing going on, pag walang
mm,
achievement na
mm,
nangyayari.
mm, mm.
So it's not persistent, it's not consistent. So ganun lang, parang on and off. Dapat
Uh,
tuloy.
so but you still believe that, and the optimist. Do you still are you still optimistic in your view about the final outcome eventually? Because personally, I am quite optimistic with it. I am still hopeful for the
Yes,
future.
yes,
Ana
yes.
ko ang kuan
Kasi
saya.
just
Mm,
base it on the fact that if we are in another country, in another economically advanced country, medyo advanced din yung
Yeah. Yeah.
mangyayari in
Yeah.
terms of technology, in terms
Yeah.
of people's perception. Kasi makikita mo ang mga tao sa mga first world countries, yung mga matatanda, they're accepting, they're
Correct.
embracing. They have
Exactly.
they have a
Mm.
view of the world that's balanced, and hindi mo makikita yan sa Pilipinas, minsan lang.
Mm.
Oh, kasi medyo delayed tayo eh. So,
Mm.
but
We are still a fledgling.
yeah, if the fight continues, pupunta din tayo dyan.
Yeah.
Mararating din natin yan. Kasi gaya before, di ba, sa mga LGBT, parang ayaw ng mga bakla pumato sa kapwa bakla. Kasi gusto nila lalaki lang
Yeah.
talaga.
Yeah.
Makikipag-away sa babae kasi lalaki lang talaga ang gusto nila. Pero ngayon medyo okay na. May mga paminta na lumalabas. Di ba pang first world yan before?
Yes, actually, nanood nga.
Oh, so
And
that's another evolution. So,
yeah. So it is,
oh,
yeah. So you are optimistic for the future because of the fact that we have witnessed it in the countries we're living in. Like
oh,
like an example lang po dito sa Britain, it was like not I think 50 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, it was illegal to be homosexual. People like
oh,
Alan Turing were persecuted. Oscar Wilde, they were persecuted. They were given treatment just because. Pero karon, look how far they've come. They've
mm,
adopted same sex. So I think in a way, I'm hopeful as well for the future.
mm.
Sa ato own motherland.
May mga events politically and socially na mangyayari that will
Mm.
tip the point
Yeah,
at some
yeah,
time, and then that would be an opportunity para so if the battleground, if the workers in the battleground are just there and happens to be existing when the
yeah,
tipping
yeah.
point happens, so you can gain some victory.
We can seize that
Pero
moment when it
yes,
comes.
seize the moment. Pero pag wala namang walang nakikialam na walang mangyayari.
Yeah.
So you have to, sail
Well, thank
away.
thank you so much for your time, Miss Kate. It was very,
Oh,
very
you're
fun
welcome.
catching up
Thank
with
you
you, albeit
too.
online. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity
Regards to
to
Earl. Ano ba tong pag naging presidente? Oh my
ako daw.
gosh. First,
Ako daw presidente. Base daw makabalik na tas Pilipinas tanan. um ikampanya natin si Geraldine Roman. Base sad, mahimo siyang senator. Patakabalo. Um, yeah, so thank you so much for your time tonight. Sa ako, I think afternoon dia sa imuha. Thank
afternoon.
you sa lahat pa ng mga nandyan na nanonood sa amin. Sana na makapulutan nyo ng aral. At kung hindi man, sana,
Sana.
sana, sana natuwa din kayo or na-inspire or kahit ano lang, may na-feel kayo na, may napulot lang kayong something. Kahit na hindi man siya, like, but I'm sure, we are, iba-iba yung, natin, life experiences natin.
I
And
know.
I've invited Miss Kate over because I know for a fact that she has, her journey her story is worth sharing. And I'm so glad and honored that she's trusted me with that to be able to actually use this platform to also share her story. And I hope, Miss Kate, that you felt comfortable and that you felt
I
um
do.
yeah,
And
okay,
can I have a few words in
yes,
finality?
yes, sure, of
So
course.
I like how I came into your show, like parang ano lang, last minute and all, in a series, di ba, of
Yeah.
discussants.
Yeah.
Para naman hindi masyadong parang napaghandaan. But anyway, I like it that we don't have a theme. It's
Mm,
just like me. It's just me because I want to be a disclaimer na I don't profess to be expert on anything. I just happen to be me and I just happen to
mm.
learn from experience. So kung hindi man nag-a-apply yung mga kasi yung mga experiences ko sa experiences ng iba, it because that's my circumstance.
Exactly.
Mm.
Very well said. And for that, I give you the crown.
Ito na.
So thank you so much. I am
Thank
very
you,
yeah. I'm
Marco and
hoping
Earl.
that you keep well. Pak na pak daw ingon Sir Earl. Grabe ang answer. Ikaw na gyud. Thanks, Miss K. I really like the fact that I really like your name, actually, Miss Kate. It's very, very. It reminds me of Kate Middleton. I don't know if you
I
like
know,
her.
di ba? Tapos Kate ano pa, Kate Butkan. Dito, Butkan. So,
But,
wala talaga, parang, they can't believe na I'm Filipino.
diba?
Oo.
Bitaw sa
Kate
it's there's a
Butkan.
foreign, it can be
Foreign
that's an
sound.
English ano.
Pero sa Pinas pa, Butkon. Of course.
And thank you so much. I really, like I said, I am a I'm a fan in a way. I've admired you from
Mutual
afar, and
admiration, my
yes.
dear. Hope to see you soon.
Yes, my house is mi casa su casa. You're welcome
Oh,
here. Kami nanduhan ni Earl dinhi sa amo ang payag-payag. So, uh, if you find yourself in this side of the world,
I'll
there is
let
a
you
house
know.
here. There's a refuge here for you. And yes, so hope to see you soon when this
Okay.
pandemic, when this
Yeah,
nightmare is over.
I
I'm
know.
just let's just get through this nightmare first, and yeah, I'm hoping na kana keep
Okay.
well, and thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so
Bye
much.
all
Bye
for
everyone.
watching. Thank
Stay
you.
on lang, Miss Kate ha. Stay on,
Oh,
Miss
okay.
Kate. Ayos
Okay.
sa'yo. Wait lang ako lang yan ng broadcast.